All right, so these are Magic Eye images, and the way that Magic Eye images are created is a printer creates a three-dimensional grayscale image of some kind, usually a fairly simple image, and then overlays it with a two-dimensional color print. And then the expectation is that we are able to diverge our eyes a little bit to allow the grayscale image to kind of pop through the color. And this particular book is a story Val was looking through and has all of this narrative text, and then you get to one of these Magic Eye kinds of presentations. So I was looking at Magic Eye, and although I've never been very good at it myself, it made me think about how the whole of the Bible is arranged in that there are sometimes images that are hidden under other images. And the way that this works is that, like, you have the story of Genesis starts in a garden, and then in Revelation, we end up in a garden city. And we have stories that keep reappearing around different themes, like there are snake stories that appear at different times, or there are stories of unlikely heroes that come up at different times. Well, one of the ways that we can also look at the scriptures and how this works is in the letter to the Colossians. And in the letter to the Colossians, there's a portion called the Christological hymn. And it goes like this. It says, "He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For in him all things in heaven and on earth were created, things visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or powers, all things have been created through him and for him." This is talking about Christ, obviously. Well, I was looking at this passage and I thought, there's something in Proverbs that's very similar to this. So this is Proverbs 8. "The Lord created me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts of long ago. And then I was beside him like a master worker, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always, rejoicing in his inhabited world, and delighting in the human race." So what's cool is that Proverbs is talking about this character of wisdom woman, and Colossians is talking about an image of Christ. And so we can see that the two passages are kind of lenses for each other. So in a lot of ways, we can look at scripture as being kind of linear. Here's a story, here's a story, here's a story, here's a story. But when we remember that there can be a magic eye approach to scripture, we can look at scripture passages like here's a story, here's a layer, here's a story, here's a lens. So it's a kind of a different way of looking through scripture through magic eyes to see what new grace is always waiting to appear. Okay?
Cool.
Yay!